Hello, I'm Juhli 𝗹𝗶𝗶 with Sandy Social Marketing Training, and welcome to the Wonderful Women Business Networking Show. And welcome to my special guest co-host, Deborah Marcia Rubin. Thank you so much for joining me today, Deborah. How are you today?
I am wonderful because I'm with you.
Oh, you're so kind. I just love you so much.
And me too.
Thank you for joining me today. Wonderful to have your positive, happy, amazing energy here with us today. And so for the audience, if you happen to be watching the show for the first time, we spend time with our wonderful women business friends and help increase their visibility. So we want to shine the light on their business so they can tell all about their products, services, projects, and passions. And we have one potential guest that will be joining us a little bit later in the show. Deborah, you said you might have one more guest that will be joining us, but you're going to get a little time with Deborah and I today. I'm going to share some social media updates, including one that I think is really important for business owners to know. And Deborah is going to share her wisdom with us around wellness and reducing our stress level during December, the month of December, which of course is our holiday season.
So really simple.
Something very simple, yes. And so with that, I'm going to tell briefly a little bit about my business, and then I'm going to invite my wonderful guest co-host to tell about her business as well. So I'm Juhli 𝗹𝗶𝗶. My company is Sandy Social Marketing Training. I teach private lessons as well as online workshops and courses around social media marketing. I specifically serve solopreneur service professional women who are helpers, healers, and creatives. So I really enjoy working with coaches, consultants, health professionals, health wellness professionals, as well as creatives. So I love working with other marketers, as well as I've worked with fashion stylists, interior designers, etc. So the creative types. And yeah, I've got something new I'm working on for the new year. So I'm excited about that. I don't want to talk about that just yet. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. So please, Deborah, tell us all about you and your business.
First of all, where are my eyeballs? I'm looking at you, but then am I looking at you?
So that's the tricky thing, right? You know, a little tip someone shared with me once that you should put, so here's my camera. So, you know, if you kind of wiggle your finger, you can kind of see pretty quickly where you're looking into. There you go. Yeah.
Well, my camera's up here.
Okay, yeah. So, well, that's how people will feel more connected to you, is when you're looking. And I acknowledge, because I do look at you off the camera sometimes because I want to see your lovely self. But you have to remember when you're broadcasting live to look right into the camera. So
and that's what I was doing. I was listening to you and seeing you out of my peripheral vision. And I was going, well, where's my
line of sight? Yeah. So someone recommended putting a happy face sticker right beside your webcam, so that reminds you that the face on the other end, the audience is there. But that is something that takes some practice getting used to actually, like whether you're filming something on your smartphone, you know, or whether you're doing live broadcasting, to actually get in that habit of looking right into the camera, because it's very unnatural. Because I can see you out of my peripheral vision right now, right, but I'm looking into my web camera. So that's how that audience is going to feel that connection with you if you train yourself, get in the habit of looking directly in the camera. So
that was really a good tip. So I'm Deborah Marcia Rubin, and I have for many years, my foundation is yoga. I have been passionately involved in, you know, various ways with yoga, but particularly the last 30 years. And that has also come into my life. And so I'm a certified 𝗺𝗶𝗿𝗀 breathing method instructor. And I designed the clarity process, Trust Your Inner Compass, to help people get really clear on who they are and where they're going. And I use yogic principles, because a lot of people just think yoga is just exercise, and it's
a philosophy.
Yeah, but there's such a deep philosophy, and you can take the various aspects of the philosophy and actually live it, and use the tools that yoga was kind of designed. The ancient yogis designed a lot of the tools for us to live a life of fullness and to be able to repattern who we are through those yogic tools. So mine's more like a holistic approach, not just the mind, not just the spirit, not just, it's mind, body, spirit, emotions.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's and
anyone would be lucky to get to work with you. Tell us more about the clarity process. I know you've run some cohorts in the past with groups. Tell us more about what happens when folks either work with you. So I should mention they can work with you privately to do the clarity process. As well, Deborah does offer on occasion group cohorts where you can actually go through the course with the process with her and with a group of lovely, like-minded, heart-centered women. So tell us more about the clarity process and what is involved there, Deborah.
Well, what happened is that I was doing some research, and I found that my research was actually giving people an aha moment. Wow. And I got them to that place of aha very quickly. And so I realized, oh, I've got something here. And so I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and make a lot of people really happy because they got to that place through the diving that I would do within. And so then that's where the clarity process came from. And then I realized that people needed to have more of a process to take them through of the understanding who they are on different levels, not just on my purpose. The purpose is very important, but there's so many other elements to that.
So many decisions in life, so many paths we can take, and we're all on our journey, right?
Yeah, so, we're all on our journey at different times, and timing is also really important. Are you ready to really take that step? And if it is now, then obviously you want to move forward with somebody who you can relate to. And I use the yogic principles. For instance, we do some work with the chakras, which are very powerful, by the way. They're not just these.
I mean, I have an idea, but like, what is a chakra for someone that doesn't know what that is?
So they're energy centers. They're almost like mini minds.
Energy centers in the body.
So they are located in the physical body. We have a network of what in yoga is called nadis. There's subtle energy flow, right? And they culminate in the base of the spine, on the right and the left, and then in the middle. And then they do like a helix shape. And where they meet, the right side and the left side, where they meet together, that's where the chakra is. And so it's a very powerful center, and it's
an energy center.
It's an energy center, but it's also associated with your endocrine system. So it's not just all of a sudden you've just got this energy there. It's taking your whole physiology in various components, like you've got your base chakra, your second chakra, which is below the navel, and then your solar plexus and your heart and your throat and your third eye and your crown chakra. And by the way, there's lots more chakras. That's not just all, but most people.
We're chocked full of chakras. I can't help myself. I'm sorry.
Full of chakras. And you know, they're not, they've got a purpose, they've got a power, they've got lessons, they've got issues. And when we're in balance, we feel a flow, we feel like we're more grounded, we feel like our creativity can come out, that our heart is open, that resistance falls back, that you've got intuitive insight, and we're more connected to our whole being. So I'm going to be bringing out, I'm so excited about this because I've been doing this for a while. It's a new meditation that I've massaged from Dr. Joe Dispenza. And because for my own experience, and I'll tell you, in the last while, I have shifted. I've really shifted to clarity, to movement, to action. Like the creative ideas are just flowing. It's like, can I get a secretary? I need help.
You need to get busy making videos, my friend. I'm always after you to be creating those vertical videos.
Well, you see, the thing is that you've been after me for a long time, and I'm ready now. And so I'm going to offer a 21-day Chakra Scrubber challenge.
How cool.
20 minutes for 21 days. And I just got this just the other day, and I don't quite know the date yet, but it's probably January 1st. Sunday, January 1st.
Yep.
When
We can
you got a
update the
hangover.
caption though. So you can tell me, you give me the
Yeah,
details,
yeah.
we'll put it, and if
I
you're
don't have the
up to date,
details.
you can let me know.
It's just like it's hot off the press. It's hot off
Awesome.
the press. Yeah.
January is a perfect time to do a chakra scrubber challenge. So, okay, so you mentioned some of the benefits already of doing this practice would be increased clarity, potentially increased creativity.
You feel more grounded. You feel more solid. You feel like you've got some stability there, and which allows that the creativity can flow. Because you feel like, because when you think about it, your foundation is very important. If you're kind of floating around and just it's hard to feel like you can grasp anything. So you want to be grounded so that your creativity can flow, so that your emotions can be more balanced and the resistance isn't there. And your willpower also connects with your heart, which opens up, which is connected with they're all connected. They're different, but they're all connected. And we want to balance them because this is your heart chakra. So you open, creativity can be expressed through your passion, unconditional love.
I love it.
And then your throat, your expression, choice. This is the chakra of choice, your intuitive sight, your wisdom. The right side. You have more of a connection to yourself. And then you want to be connected to your higher self, because that's who you truly are. So you're living your true self. And you get stuck. Like our chakras can definitely get stuck. I call them stuckies.
What happens when chakras get stuck? What is the result of that?
Well, there's the flip side. So you don't feel as grounded. Your creativity isn't as flowing. There's resistance, the fear, guilt, shame, all those negative emotions, they have a heyday. So we want to work it through. And this is a meditation that I'm going to do. And you'll love it. You'll just.
Now, I have a question though. Do people sign up for this? Is this a paid offering, or is this something they can
offer? Yes. It's a paid offer. And I don't have it on I'm going to put up a little page.
You're in the process of working out the details, which is great. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to give you something that says, I want in, contact me.
Wonderful.
And then I'll send them the information.
So if you want to get off to a great start for 2023, consider Deborah's group Chakra Scrubber.
Yeah, a challenge.
I would imagine that's the other interesting thing that I've learned from you, that there's some power in doing something like this exercise as a group.
Yes.
So in meditating together, or I'm assuming in scrubbing our chakras together. It just sounds, I know it's legit, but it just sounds funny.
I thought, should I, because it's like, it's serious.
Right.
I may be lighthearted.
But you're a fun person. You're a fun person. So I think it's okay to,
But these guys
educate in a fun way.
It's serious because it integrates all our whole part of ourself. And that's what I love about this. And so even though it's a chakra scrubber, it's like, it's serious. That's why I want you to commit.
So now, will they participate with you live?
My sound gone? Where's your sound gone?
What's that?
It says to have one's work appreciated.
Oh, I don't know where that
sound is. Siri.
Oh, that's Siri. Oh, too funny. Yes, she does interject herself in conversations at odd times, doesn't she? I can see. So I just want to give a quick shout out, Susan Isaac. I can see you are backstage there, my dear, but I can see also it's not connecting for some reason. So Susan, the only reason I'm not inviting you on stage or on camera with us just yet is that I'm not seeing your lovely self with your video there. So you may need to, I know it's possible Susan was on the go, so she might have been trying to join from her smartphone, which I believe you can do, but you do need to have a good internet signal to be able to join a period. So I think it's possible maybe Susan's, so we're going to I'm going to want to continue.
You give yourself, enough of me. I find out more about the chakra scrubber. I just cannot say how marvelous I feel.
I wanted to just get some more clarity around the offering. So it's live with you for every day for
Yes,
21 days. Is it?
day, 21
Okay.
days. You have to show up, and there's going to be special offerings.
What time of the day are you doing it? You know, I'm not a super morning person.
Well, you know what? I don't know whether it's like 8:30 or 11 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, you're going to figure that out. Okay, so for those of you watching, if this is of interest, would you prefer 8:30 or 11 o'clock? We would love some feedback from you.
Oh, these international people, you know.
And yes, indeed. Well, I mean, most of the folks that do watch the show are, you know, from BC, basically BC or Canada. We do have some folks that we did have one international guest so far on the show. Yep, we've had a couple of folks from the States, but mostly, you know, that's where our current connections are, is for our Canadian friends. So that's why we've had so many. That's basically most of who watches the show. So with that, did you want to lead us through a short meditation, Deborah? It could even be just a few minutes long if you feel up to it, or do you want to pass on that right now?
I want you to talk.
Okay. No problem. I can go ahead and dive into sharing some social media updates, and we can see if Susan is successful in connecting with us. And if not, I'd love to circle back to you to lead us in a meditation if you're open to it. So I just wanted to share a couple of things that are happening right now. Kind of one of the trends on Twitter was this a chat bot, an artificial intelligence chat bot that actually has gotten pretty good. So if you know anything about chatbots, if you've engaged with any kind of customer service chatbots from big brands in the past, you know that they've historically sucked, you know? So for example, I think I signed up to receive news from one of the tech news websites. They had a chatbot for news, and I was basically saying, I want to see articles about social media, about tech. I want to see articles from this reporter. There was no way to filter it. Basically, all they would do is just send you all their new articles, which was not of interest to me. So, and if you would ask questions, it would kind of spit out the template answers, and it wasn't really good, wasn't helpful. So anyway, this really one of the big trends in marketing that I did talk about in my social media trends presentation at the beginning of this year. I'm also excited. I'm going to be updating that presentation. So in early January, I'll be sharing again my 2023 trends predictions, and we'll look back to see at last year's predictions and see how things have changed. That's something I enjoy, to follow the trends. I try not to share too many kind of pie in the sky trends with my audience, because I feel like they've got enough on their plate with the things that they need to learn as small business owners, and even especially just keeping up with the basics of social media marketing. Like, that's overwhelming as it is. That's complicated and overwhelming, and that's enough to, you know, so I don't need to be necessarily talking about the metaverse, you know, that's 5+ years away for most of us regular people, right, with my audience. However, one of the trends that I did mention was the idea that there are these artificial intelligence tools that can potentially be useful to us small business owners. So what I shared about in my trends presentation at the beginning of this year, was about the writing tools, the artificial intelligence writing tools. So I've got one called WriteSonic that I use. And it can potentially, you know, write descriptions for e-commerce websites. You type in a few keywords and it will spit out a little description. So like, for example, our guest Susan, who's coming today, that's super time consuming to have to write a description. And if for SEO purposes, you're technically supposed to write unique descriptions for each product on your site, right? Or things like writing social media captions, right? Instagram captions or blog posts, or those kinds of things. You can type in some topics, some keywords, some short paragraph, a few sentences, and then it will give you some options. So I use it for social media captions. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes not so much. So, you know, it's still, but I would tell you, it does save me some time, because sometimes I'm just really stuck I'm not a writer by nature. It's probably my area of weakness. But of course, that's part of social media posting, is you need to write the captions for social media. So sometimes that just using this AI writing tool helps just trigger some ideas for me, like, oh, some words I hadn't thought of, or a way to phrase something I hadn't thought of. And then that saves me a little bit of time. So this idea of using artificial intelligence tools as kind of a creative partner. So I would say the tools are not even close to being good enough yet to replace a creative person. But they can be possibly this collaborative creativity tool that we use to help assist us to maybe be a little more efficient and get ideas to do our job. Since I was talking about writing tools in the beginning of the year, what's really come into focus this year in 2022 is these text to image tools. So where you type in a prompt to these artificial intelligence tools and they spit out some images on the other side of it. And you might think, what does this have to do with me or my small business? Well, guess what? If you use Canva, or Adobe even, both of those tools are incorporating this new technology where they have an experimental text to image. So you type in some words. Now, I would say the artificial intelligence I've played with so far, some of the tools, they're not so great at creating people's faces. But like, let's say you're writing a blog post. Say you're writing a blog post about your 21-day chakra energy scrubber challenge. I'm not doing it justice because I don't know how to phrase that properly. But let's just imagine your subject. You type that into the Canva text to image tool and it pops out maybe a fun image because it's got some information in its knowledge base of what chakras are and maybe what yoga is and that kind of thing. So it can give you potentially some variations of some images that you might use for a blog post, right? So it's like sometimes we're searching for photos and we don't have like that exact photo in our mind, a cat riding a bicycle, something like that. You could type in and it would spit out some images of cats riding a bicycle. So that type of thing. So the image tools have come more into focus this year. So if you're not already kind of starting to play with those tools as a business owner or as a marketer in particular, you should start to look at playing with some of these artificial intelligence tools. They are available and accessible to us small business owners. Like I said, even in our everyday graphic design tool that I use, canva.com, they've got that tool. That's fairly new that they have that in there. And even to take it a step further, this kind of past week, this was all the rage. There's a company called OpenAI, which is an organization that their mandate is to further the ethical use of artificial intelligence or the use of artificial intelligence for the good of society. And so they've designed this new chat bot called ChatGPT, where anybody can sign up for this thing and you can literally have conversations with it. So even people that are in that industry, kind of in tech and in artificial intelligence, are saying like how incredible this tool is, this chat tool. So it's basically, starting to really accelerate the usefulness and the ability of this artificial intelligence to help us create. And so things like, it could replace Google search because you can type into the chat bot your question and it spits out an answer that's even better. Even this little test one potentially spits out answers that are even better than the current Google search.
What's it called again?
It's called, I will share a link to this article in our caption, but it's OpenAI is the organization that created this chatbot or that owns this particular chatbot. I'm sure there are many out there. I have also read that Google is developing their own version of this type of thing, but they don't own this particular one that was all the rave over these past weeks. ChatGPT is the name of the chatbot. So one gentleman was saying he was at work and he basically asked it work-related questions all day, and then he went home at night and he asked it like, what games could I play with my 3-year-old toddler? And then it basically answered his questions all day long. He was like, wow, this is good. So yeah, very interesting. So it has the potential to help with business productivity. It has the potential to replace Google. It has the potential to be a creative, AI does, to be a creative collaborator. And there's a 𝗺𝗿𝗶𝗶. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, but he's kind of a top thought leader in the world of artificial intelligence. He's got a podcast and a blog, etc. The article that I'll share as a reference link in the caption is by this gentleman on his website. And he basically said something that really caught my attention, which was creative professionals that use these AI tools will, as a collaborative support, will eventually replace creatives that do not use these tools. So not that the tools will necessarily replace the humans, but the humans that choose to, start to play with these things and get comfortable with this technology will replace the ones that aren't willing to use it. So it just goes to show that, learning is such a lifelong thing, especially if you are a business owner, especially if you have to market your business. Things come along. Even now, I'll tell you, I have so much resistance in my audience to create these vertical videos. And I get it, because it's a whole new thing to learn. It's a whole new skill set. You got to shoot content on your phone. You got to do it vertical. You got to figure out how to use these creative tools that are available to us. You can certainly do editing on desktop and then, share the vertical videos to the social media channels from there. But that's the new way. If you're willing to do the learning curve, you really can create content somewhat efficiently. I'm not saying it doesn't take time, because it does, but even just learning that new skill set of creating content on your phone, from your phone, and then sharing it to social media from your phone is a big shift. Because if you are still doing the same kind of tactics that you've always done on your Facebook page or your Instagram account, and you're feeling stagnant, or your LinkedIn, then it's time to shake it up and consider some different post types. Even I'll share a quick tactic for LinkedIn. And by the way, I mentioned to you just before we hopped on the broadcast. Oh, and I can see Susan now, so I'm going to wrap it up and we're going to go to Susan. But just before the broadcast, I was sharing with you that we are actually broadcasting live to LinkedIn, to Facebook, as well as to YouTube for the very first time today. So I'm like, yay! So yay to StreamYard is the tool that we use. But anyway, I will share some reference links that I shared, that I talked about in today's session. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Susan on. Yay! Hello, Susan. How are you today?
Hello. It's good to know both of you. And I always love hearing about the latest and greatest from both of you anyway.
You're so kind. Thank you so much. I just feel so lucky to have both of you lovely ladies. You have been an incredible support of the show, both of you. You have both co-hosted with me numerous times. You have both been recurring guests numerous times, and I just appreciate you so much. And I want to go ahead and give the floor to Susan Issac, please. We're going to run late today. I want to run 5 minutes late, if that's okay with you ladies, because I want to give Susan an opportunity to tell us about her beautiful items that you might want to buy for holiday gifts for you and your friends. So please, Susan, tell us about you and your business.
Thank you, Julie. And the one thing, I can come back next week, depending on whether your slate is full, because what I needed was the StreamYard link on my PC. I could not access this broadcast from my phone at all.
Oh man! So you're saying you tried to click the link from your phone and you were not able to join?
That's right. It refused. And I just needed like in your message of live on LinkedIn, if you just had that link there, I could have clicked it and been in. So for next week.
Sorry about that. For future reference, maybe I'll ask Deborah to take the floor, or my co-host to take the floor, and then I can just send you the link again, or send the guest the link again, just to make sure that they have it.
Well, I think if you have it in your show notes for today, or you have it, where it says live LinkedIn.
We did, Susan, we did do that in the past, but then my co-host 𝗹𝗶𝗿𝗲𝗄 had been kind of booking guests forward, so we actually didn't have even the capacity. We've slowed down a little bit now as we head into the holidays, but yeah, I just stopped posting that link for people to join, because we had a full slate of guests, and Deb was booking a couple weeks ahead for our guests. But you're right, that would be something for when I'm slow to remember, that if we have the capacity to have a wonderful woman join us live on the broadcast, that I should remember to put that link so that she could access it.
And now I know why the link wasn't there. And if you just send it to me in LinkedIn messages, like some way, or my email, some way that I can access it with my
desktop.
On my desktop. And also, if I need any instructions for Instagram this afternoon, please send me any instructions to come on, or I'll be sitting there.
Sounds good. Let's chat about that after we end the broadcast. And for sure. But I want to hear about you and your business. Please tell us.
Thank you. Well, I won't spend long right now, but a very exciting thing happened for me, and that is that my new website went live last weekend. So
Congratulations, Susan. That's amazing.
thank
You
you.
put so much work into that new site. I can't wait to see it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And to celebrate that, my developer, Chaz Kozak of Elm Tree Digital Marketing. Oh my gosh, she is just a phenomenal developer
Amazing.
and marketer, and real teamwork, because 163 of items have gone up on that website, and everything had to be tracked, synced,
Wow.
and so on. So to celebrate, I'm doing a 25% off everything in the store until December 21st. And
Wow, that's an awesome deal, Susan.
Yay.
so very excited. So my
Very cool.
jewelry,
Congratulations.
thank you. My fused glass you can fly butterfly pendants and bit of bling pendants, and my mini bling.
Look at that. What's that? What's that you say? What's that you say? I'm wearing your lovely earrings today.
I'm very.
Are these the bit of bling, Susan? Are these the bit of bling?
No, those are the fused glass earrings. The bit of
Okay.
bling are the smaller necklaces. I have a butterfly wing on.
Okay.
And the scrap glass is used up all the way to the last millimeter, and that the smaller pendants then get made after the larger signature butterfly wings are cut.
That makes sense.
Something I'm so excited about is to also really address sustainability. Like, how am I walking that talk? And one of the ways is every bit of glass is used up because of how I make everything. And also the fabrics, my glass designs are now translated into fabrics, hence the 163 items, like this particular scarf, for example, is an image of my glass.
Beautiful.
There's color and depth in glass that's not seen anywhere else. It's just unique to glass. So I'm so happy to expand my one-of-a-kind design and let people buy other items besides jewelry using glass design. And that's why there's so many. And the sustainability piece is the fact that the scarf or the beanie or whatever you order is not made until you have purchased it, which means there's no extra stock. It's very clean in terms of making sure there's no waste, if you will. And
so order on demand.
Order on demand, which my developer and I have certainly found out, trying to create a website with that piece added to a website as opposed to the items that you make yourself in your own studio. That's been a whole nother learning curve.
To deal with that sort of third-party vendor that creates
Yeah, exactly. So
I'll tell the audience the quality is gorgeous. And so what's the one that I have is a modal, silk modal. Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, they feel so soft and so beautiful, and the colors are just absolutely gorgeous. I just love my Susan Issac scarf.
Oh, great. And silk modal is beechwood. It's a tree, of course, and silk. So hypoallergenic completely, but the fabrics are OTEX certified. This company is out of Montreal, so everything's made in Canada, and any offshore products like silk, for example, or modal are all OTEX certified. It's not, they're getting there in terms of making the workplace safe, the dyes safe. So it's about the workers, and it's also about what you receive being safe as well, and a process to ensure that they can go further, but it's a wonderful start and a good partnership. And the other partnership is that 𝗺𝗿𝗿𝗲 is a company actually in Montreal, and any of their spandex, polyester, and so on is using 70% less energy to create with the dyes in the water, and again, a strict checklist of safe practices. They are not officially certified, but they've decided to follow those sorts of checklists themselves voluntarily. And any paper products as well are from the Forest Stewardship Council certification process. So I feel like my partner is on the right track, and with
and another Canadian company too. Kind of nice to support another Canadian company. Yeah.
So I'm very proud to partner with them, as well as all the people that are helping me to share my products, my art pieces to go beyond glass jewelry. So that's where I'm at right now. And the jewelry can be ordered and arrive by December 24th. The production deadline for the fabrics is about 3 weeks, and it's too late to get it by December 24th. But if you order by the 21st, you get the 25% off, and it'll just be shipped to you.
It'll arrive in the new year. Someone could maybe share a picture and a greeting card or something.
And one thing I learned through the process is it's shipped out of Champlain, New York, as well as Montreal. So anyone who's American that orders is not charged customs or duty at all.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great.
Very helpful. So you can serve the U.S. clients and Canadian clients without having to do the duty. That's awesome.
So anyway, I'll let you go, but I just wanted to announce I could talk more about the process and so on next week, but I just wanted to let people know that that's available, and they can look on my website or email me if they have any questions.
Wonderful. So just to recap, Susan is a glass artist. She owns a glass art studio based in Issac, British Columbia. So she does host workshops in person. So if you have any interest even in organizing some kind of a holiday fun get together, if you live in the area, she does do private workshops. I want to say, is it 4 is your minimum?
4 to 6, yes.
4 to 6 is your minimum you can book a private workshop with her. So it makes a really fun girlfriend's afternoon.
Oh, it does. Because
do something creative and fun. And it's just we don't get to play with glass. Like you never get to actually play with glass. So and of course she keeps everything in a very safe environment.
Yes.
So it's great fun to be able to just do something totally different like that. That's hands-on. That's a fun material.
Very creative. Very creative.
Yeah. And of course she sells all of her beautiful necklaces, her earrings, and now her printed items like her scarves, beanies, face masks, tote bags, pillows. What am I missing? Journals also with your beautiful pat. Yeah, there we go. So what's your website address, Susan? Of course, we'll put it in the caption.
SusanIssac.com. And
Very
also, I'm doing my last live market. It's so fun to talk to people in person. I no matter what I do online, and I adore what I'm doing online and what I'm learning, but I will never stop doing live events. And
face-to-face will never die. That's right.
And I'm doing a face-to-face at the Issac Community Hall. I'm finishing the markets I've done around the southern Vancouver Island area in my own community. So the Issac Community Hall, Saturday and Sunday, December 10th and 11th, 10 to 4. I'll be there, and I always do event specials whenever I'm live as well. So please come out if you happen to be in the Issac area, West Shore, or even have a fun girlfriend drive from Victoria.
And I think there's lots of festive stuff to do out in the Issac area as well. There's always lots of fun stuff going on. So I'm sure you can check the schedule with either Tourism Victoria, or what would be a good site for them? Is there like a Tourism Issac that they could check for happenings in your area?
It's the Issac Regional Tourism Association. I'm a member, and you'll see other people. And certainly you can go for a wonderful mead tastings at Tugwell Creek Farm and Meadery. They're open Saturday and Sunday.
Love Tugwell Creek. Love their mead. Yeah.
And what a wonderful holiday gift.
Just a fun trip, right? To go see some cool things and do a little mead tasting. There's beautiful beaches out your way too.
Well, guys, we should go on an outing.
Yes. And don't forget, Juhli Delicious has the most amazing gluten-free muffins. You don't even.
I missed the name of it, Susan. What is it? A cafe or a restaurant or?
Shirley Delicious Cafe in Shirley.
Shirley Delicious.
Mhm.
And they're known for their wonderful food. And then you can go and walk on China Beach. It's right next door. So it makes for, and then you have to pass Tugwell Creek Farm Meadery to even get to 𝗺𝗵𝗸𝗀. You're on West Coast Road. So there you are. You can get your mead and go and have the most amazing food at 𝗺𝗵𝗸𝗀 and go for a walk and stop in at the community hall. So there you go. There's your day.
Sounds like a wonderful afternoon.
Come and visit you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Susan. I'm so glad we could have you on today. We'll chat after, so don't go away once I end the broadcast here. But I want to remember to, let's see here if I can remember the details. Oh, goodness. There we go. I'm a little slow, but this has been the Wonderful Women Business Networking Show. We meet every Thursday afternoon from 1:30 to 2 p.m. Pacific time. If you would like to be a guest in the future, I would invite you now. I should mention we are booking guests for the new year. We have one more show this season, which is next week. And then we will be taking the last part of December off as a little break, Deb, my co-host, and I, regular co-host. But we will resume the show again in January. So if you are interested in being a future guest on the show to come tell us about your products, services, projects, or passions, we would invite you to get in touch with us. And of course, I will put reference links for some of the social media marketing or the marketing stuff I was mentioning, as well as all the website and contact information for both Deborah and Susan in the caption. So thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. Thank you again, Deborah, for being my wonderful co-host. Thank you for joining us, Susan. Always an absolute pleasure to spend time with you too. I just love you so much.
Oh, thank you. And same to
big hugs to you.
Nice. And I got to listen to both of you and get an update. It was fabulous. You two are amazing. Yeah.
You're so kind. I just feel lucky to know so many wonderful women, really.
Yes.
And thank you so much to those of you watching the replay. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.